Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey guys! All right, we are here with lesson 10. We're going to be looking at some true and false statements and graphing some different types of inequalities.
Okay, if you look at A right here, we're going to decide is it true or false. Right now I am in math class and English class. So let's look at this part right here. Am I in math class?
Yes.
Mentally and physically? Yes, that's true. Am I in English class? No, so that's false. So can you be in both of these classes? No, so this answer is false. And the reason it's false is when we have an and statement, both of them need to be true in order for the whole statement to be true.
Right. Okay, and then looking at part B, thinking about it with just a little bit of a change. Right now I am in math class, which is true, or in English class. Okay, so could that statement be true? Yes, okay? You can be in one class or the other. So the whole statement here is true.
Okay, the next one, looking at C. 3 plus 5 is 8. Does 8 equal 8? Yes, it does. This is true. Is 5 less than 6? This is true. It's an and statement. Remember what I just said. Both of them need to be true, so the final answer is true.
Okay, and then part D, looking at the equation, 10 plus 2 does not equal 12. Well, 10 plus 2 is 12. That is equal to 12, so that's false, okay? And is 8 minus 3 greater than 0? So 8 minus 3 is 5. Is 5 greater than 0? Yes, it is. That's true. So when we go to read the whole statement, this will be false, okay? Because they both need to be true in order for the statement to be true.
Okay, next one. We have is 3 less than 5 plus 4 is 9. This is true. 6 plus 4 equals 10 equals 9. Is that true or false? That is false. Now remember, that's an or statement. So for an or statement, only one of them needs to be true. So the whole thing is true.
All right, and then the last one here, 16 minus 20, is that greater than negative 1? This is a negative 4, is not greater than negative 1, or is 5.5 plus 4.5, that gives us 10. Does 10 equal 11? That's false too. So this whole statement is false, okay? So what we're trying to conclude here, when joined by and, what had to be true for the statement to be true? Well, we talked about it. Both statements must be true, okay? And when it's joined by an or, what had to be true for the statement to be true? Only one statement must be true for an or statement, okay? So think about, if you ever get confused, think about the first two examples. I am in math class and English class. You cannot be in two places at the same time, but you can be in one place or the other.
Okay, exercise 1. If you notice, there's 3 graphs here. I'm going to graph each of them with you guys. All right, so we know that this symbol right here should tell me that it is an open circle. I'm going to go to the number 3. It's saying x is less than, so we should know that we're going in this direction. That's all we needed for that part. The next one, again, I know it's going to be an open circle, so I'm going to go to -1, and it's saying x is greater, so I'm going to go in this direction. The last part, now this is the important part, the reason why we were doing the top. It's saying darken the line where this and this are both true. So what that would look like is, I'm going to go to this -1, I'm going to go to this 3, and they are both true in this area right here. Because if you look at it from here, they both overlap each other. Okay? All right.
So those are the numbers that are less than 3 and greater than -1. All these numbers right here. Okay. So the next exercise, graph the inequality. X is less than -4 on the number line. So again, looking at the inequality sign, we'll have an open circle on -4. And again, the little inequality sign is going to tell us the direction that our arrow goes in. So it goes like that. Part E, graph this inequality. X is greater than 0. So looking at the inequality sign, we will have an open circle on 0, and the sign will tell us the direction to graph in. We're going to darken the section of the number line where x is less than -4 or x is greater than 0. So we're going to take these two number lines and put them together. The first number line goes this way. Okay, those are all the numbers less than -4. The second number line is going in this direction, all the numbers greater than 0. So it looks a little bit different than the previous example because they're connected by this or statement, okay? One statement is true or the other one is true. They will not connect in the middle. They will go in opposite directions.
Okay, so leading into what Miss Barley just said, she just said an or statement goes in opposite directions. So if I look at G right now, they don't look like they go in opposite directions, so I know it's going to be an and statement. So I'm going to give you guys this hint. Don't tell anybody. You basically write down this number, and then you write down this number, and this area right in between is X. Now, the hint is the Pac-Man mouth, or however you learned it, will always eat in the same direction, so it's going to go this way. But we have to look at this. This is a closed circle, so it's equal to. This is a closed circle, so this is equal to. So what this line is saying is -3 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 4. Okay?
All right, and then looking at example H, you can clearly see the arrows are going into opposite directions, so this would be an or statement. We would not write our inequalities all together like that. We would write out two separate inequalities. So, looking at the number line, how would we represent that piece of the graph, okay? We would say x is less than, okay, no equal to, there's an open circle there. X is less than -4, or, looking at the second piece of our number line here, x is greater than 0. We'd have two inequalities there.
Okay, so if you look at the next part, this is kind of just building upon each other, guys. If you look at this one right here, we see an or statement. So automatically, you should be thinking, my lines are going to be going in opposite directions, okay? So I'm going to solve this one first. I'm going to put this guy here in red. So I have 2x is less than 10, divided side by 2. X is greater than 5. This guy over here, we have x over 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Remember, we want to cross multiply, so we have this x is greater than or equal to 6. So on my number line, again, we have that or statement, so we know it should go in opposite directions. So I'm going to go to my number 5. It is an open circle, less than goes to the left. My next one, x is greater than or equal to, closed circle, greater than goes in this direction. All right, there's that one.
Okay, now this last example, Miss Santiago and I, we had a math fight. I will admit, I still love you, but we disagree sometimes.
I won, but that's besides the point. Go ahead, Barley.
That's what she thinks, but okay. We are going to actually do this example in two different ways. We're going to show you two different ways to do this. When the inequality is written like this, all together, okay, this is what's called a compound inequality. I can't write and talk at the same time. You guys know this already. Okay, so what this means, like we saw in some previous examples, compound inequalities come from these and statements, okay? So, I like to solve my compound inequalities all at the same time, all together. Miss Santiago likes to separate them. So we will show you two ways. You pick which way you like, master it, and own it, okay? All right, here we go. I like to think of this as like a inequality sandwich, okay? We're going to treat these little inequality symbols like our equations, okay? We still want to try to get this n all by itself. So pretend like for 1 second that -1 wasn't there. Cover it up with your hand. Pretend the -1 wasn't there. How would we solve for n? Well, we would start by subtracting 9 from both sides. Well, now we're just going to subtract 9 from all the sides. So we will get -1 minus -9 is -10. Keeping your sign, the n is in the middle. Keeping your sign, 17 minus 9 is 8. Okay? And there we go. We have our answer. So this is our little thing that we have to put on the number line. Again, like Ms. Santiago just showed us, put an open circle on -10, an open circle on 8, and our graph will cover all the space in the middle.
All right, so this is how, maybe it was because this is the way I was taught it. Who knows? Okay, so we have -1 is less than 9 plus n is less than 17. So when I answer a question like this, I kind of just break it up into two. So this is going to be my first one, and then this is going to be my second one. So I would put -1 is less than 9 plus n, and then the other one would be 9 plus n is less than 17. So basically, if you notice here, I have the 9 plus n, the 9 plus n, I just split them. So it's really kind of the same thing as what Miss Barley did, but I like to just kind of have it separated. Sorry, I went back too far. All right, so again, we want that n by itself. We're going to subtract 9 from both sides. We have -10 is less than n. And then over here, we want n by itself. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. And I get 9 is less than 8. So I have the same thing that Miss Barley has up here, but I just have it written in two different equations, or two inequalities. So if I looked at this, n is greater than -10, it would have gone in this direction, and then my other one would have gone in this direction, and then they overlap right here. So again, it's the same exact thing, I just like to split mine. So whatever you guys decide. You guys can go ahead, and if you look at the front of your paper, this is the same rule. You can go ahead and look at the front of the paper or kind of summarize this on your own. When you are done, go ahead and grab your classwork. Be sure to be checking your answers, and
Good luck.
good luck.